We have outdoorsman Caleb English. He's going to show us how to start a fire without matches, just using the elements that are readily available in the outdoors. Caleb, show us how it's done.
Alrighty, so this is going to be a flint and steel fire. I just grabbed a bundle of grass right here. Normally you would get grass that doesn't have such tiny clippings like this. This is just from the lawn after it's mowed. Normally you get longer grass and then you bend it, and then you have a handhold there once you bend it in half, and then you'd have a little bird's nest there. Since I don't have that, I just made a little indentation in the grass pile that I got right here.
Could you show us that again?
Yeah. Just move my thumb in there so I got a spot to put the coal once we get a coal.
Okay.
So I got that little indentation there, and this is my fire kit that I carry with me. And it's basically a little tin. It's got a flint and steel striker. You can use any steel as long as it's high carbon steel. And you can use any rock that's hard enough. Rocks that will work are flint, chert, that's what this is. You can use quartz, which is pretty much everywhere. And then I have some char cloth here, which is really easy to make in the wild. I'll show you that. Or anywhere. You can use a cotton t-shirt, which is what I made this out of. If you don't have that and you're in the woods, you need to reproduce this stuff. You can use punk wood. You can use the spongy pith in a lot of plants. You can use cattail fluff, and you can char this into char cloth. So I'm just going to tear a piece.
What was involved in turning it into char cloth from a t-shirt?
All you have to do is heat it without oxygen. So if I wanted to make that with a tin, I would simply put whatever material I found in the tin and close the lid, puncture one little needle hole in the lid, and then throw it on the fire. You'll see all the smoke come out, and then when it stops smoking, that tells you it's done. So then whenever you let it cool down, you don't want to open it right away because it could combust just from the heat, and then you lose all your char cloth. But you let it cool down after all that smoke stops, and then you open it up, and it'll look like this.
Okay.
Whichever material you use. If you don't have a tin, you can actually bury it in the ground, and then you can build a fire on top of the ground, and it'll basically it'll bake your material into char in the ground.
Okay.
So if you didn't have this, you could still make it. So I'm just going to take this little piece of char cloth. I'll break off about that much. You don't even need this much, but if you were on a humid day or something, you just grab a little more char cloth and you got a bigger coal, and it helps you dry out your tinder bundle.
Okay.
Then I take my rock and I find the sharp edge on the rock, the sharpest edge I can find. If I don't have a sharp edge on the rock, I can actually hit it with a hammer and break off a flake, and then that'll give me a sharp edge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just hold it over with your thumb, pinning the char cloth down right flush with the sharp edge, just like that.
Let me get a close-up of that. Okay.
Make sure it's flush.
Uh-huh.
And then you're ready to go. And all you do is, it's quicker, so since it's quick, I'll just explain what I'm doing. I'm holding the striker here with my thumb, and I'm going straight down. It's going to be coming straight down across this sharp edge. When that happens, this stone is harder than this steel, and because it's harder, it'll actually shave tiny little bits of steel off, and when that happens, it makes a spark. And what happens is, whenever I do it quickly, it makes a spark, and that spark will fly into the char cloth, and all it takes is one spark to hit that char cloth, and then this char cloth is going to start to turn into a coal. It's going to glow red, and then you can't even get it out. You have to put it out with, basically smother it without oxygen, or you'd have to douse it with water to get it out. It's not going to really want to go out. It doesn't matter how hard the wind's blowing, that's actually going to help you, which is why I like this method. So I'm just going to strike a spark here. try the feathery edge. There we go. See that smoking? That's going to turn red, and this won't go out. So I'm going to take this, put it in my tinder bundle real quick, right in that dimple. Push it down a little bit. Pick it up gently. Cradle it. Keep the grass just enough around it. And then you let it, there's no rush here. You just let it heat up and you gently blow it first. The more smoke you see, the harder you can blow. That's how you tell it, to let the fire tell you what to do. There you go.
There you go. Fire without matches. From there you can add your kindling and gradually build the fire to whatever size you so desire. Caleb English, outdoorsman.